Okay, here we go. We can go live. Okay. Well, YouTube, welcome to Clear Vision Wednesday. I am Claudia Mühlenweg. I am a natural vision improvement teacher. And today I wanted to share with you a super quick little technique that you can use to relax your eyes and relax overall, because your eyes are not separate from your body and your brain, to relax quickly, instantly. So just a teeny tiny bit before we do the actual practice. So you've probably heard of Pavlov's dog, right? The Russian scientist who trained his dog. It's called classical conditioning, where he fed the dog and then he would always ring a bell. And so the dog learned to salivate, or he expected food when he heard the sound of the bell. So we can kind of use that idea of classical conditioning for good and for bad things, right? Because here's the idea of that we associate a past experience with the present moment. So we have a memory, what Bates would call a memory of something, and we can then bring that memory into the present moment. And remember, eyesight can only happen in the present moment, doesn't happen in the past or the future. And so the technique I love to share with you today, I call it anchor memory. And with anchor memory, I mean some kind of happy, positive thing that you can bring up. And for some people, that is a location. For other people, it's a person. For other people, it's a sound. It could be anything, literally anything. It's also, some people call it foundation object. But what I like about the anchor image is that the anchor is something that, right, when you think of a boat, the anchor is grounding us. It's connecting us so that we're not like being all floaty, and stress is all kind of related to that floaty feeling of not being grounded, trying to do too many things at once. So the anchor is grounding us, but there's still movement, right? The boat is still like moving on the water. So it's not like rigidly locked in. And if you've been following the Bates method on myself, or just been learning about eyesight improvement, you know that great vision is based on relaxation and that constant movement, that our eyes or our brain, our body, like our heart is beating, there's always movement. And when your vision is not good, you often try to lock things in and not see things moving. Kind of, moving thing is scary. So that's why I love the idea of a anchor memory. And so the way it's easiest to get into this, especially if you're beginning to use this practice, and maybe you've meditated and you're kind of experienced, but the easiest way to do it is to close your eyes. So I'm going to close my eyes right now. And if you want, you can do something called palming. You can rub your hands together if they're cold. You can cover your eyes with your cupped hands so that no light comes in, but that's not necessary for this technique. So either way, you can do that or not. But close your eyes, take a couple of deep breaths, and then bring up something that could be an actual, let's say I'm using the example of a place, but again, it could be a person, a pet, it could be anything that where you're like, oh, yeah, that's so nice. That's so relaxing. So it could be an actual thing, or it could be an imaginary thing. So I give you an example for me being in a forest, like laying on the mossy ground and the sunlight filters the trees. But whatever it is, maybe you're at the ocean, really bring yourself into that anchor memory, whatever it is. Sounds, smells, you see. Maybe take another deep breath, a few deep breaths. And just notice how easy it is to relax. And the other thing with an anchor memory, there's no effort. You're not trying to remember something. It's just right there. Right in this moment, it appears to you. You don't have to think about it, or just bam, right there. Maybe it is you as a child swinging on a swing set, or seeing some beautiful roses, smelling them. Maybe there's even a sense of taste in your memory. All right, and then blink your eyes open. And just notice if you feel more relaxed, if your eyes feel more relaxed, if you feel overall more relaxed. So the idea of this anchor memory is that it's a great thing to use when you're palming your eyes. And it's also a really great way to, like, that's why I called it 15 seconds, to just close your eyes, bring up this memory, and just immediately, your body is like Pavlov's dog, right? You condition your body and your brain and your eyes, obviously as being part of the brain, to immediately relax. And for some people, like when I first began this, thinking of something visual really strained my eyes because, again, I wasn't moving. I was holding on. I was making an effort. So for me, initially, it was easier to think of something like a smell or a sound. So here's the other thing. I thought I have to find this perfect anchor object or anchor memory. And if it wasn't perfect, I wasn't doing it right. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter what it is. You can have more than one. But the concept is that you can eventually, with your eyes open, just think of that thing or that place or that person or that your pet, whatever it is, and you just immediately relax your eyes. But just thinking about it, like the dog with the bell. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. So if you couldn't find something right away, because I was like, I got to find the perfect thing and nothing worked, whatever pops into your mind where you just feel like, yeah. And for many of us, especially in COVID times, it's something in nature. But again, there's no right or wrong. It doesn't have to be a visual thing. But the more senses you eventually can add in, and if you have something that moves, where either you're moving in your memory or that object, let's say it's a pet, is moving, and if you add more senses to that, not just the visual but also the touch, how can you add these other senses in there? And that immediately relaxes you. So initially you might need a few minutes to kind of drop down and drop in and into that memory and have your eyes closed. But then when you practice this more and more, you can really use this, especially when you look at, let's say, an eye chart or something where you get stressed out, where you're like, this is not feeling good. Use that anchor memory while you look at an eye chart. And I promise you, you will feel more relaxed and the letters will get more clear. All right, that's it for today. Subscribe to my channel. I'm here every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific time with either a little tip like today, or I bring on guest speakers. But yeah, also post in the comments anything that you want me to talk about, any questions you have. I'm responding to all the comments. Definitely, I will make sure I do that. All right. Okay, YouTube. See you next Wednesday. Goodbye. All right, I didn't